Alright, so you're wandering through the internet. Entertainment levels are low. You both are about to die of boredom. What do you want to do?
I look for a cool new podcast.
Yeah, and I assist. Alright, give me an investigation check. Oh yeah, and roll with advantage.
Bond's Journal, page 86. So Epido started flying us towards the floaty city when we came across a floating ship. He said something about a treaty or truce or something, and we had to pull up to the ship. They seemed threatening, and Kinian seemed to recognize the sailors. We boarded the ship and took it over. During the fight, the air elemental that powered the ship escaped. Oh, and Kinian got his family axe, which seemed super important to him, as he sent the guy who took it overboard.
I reclaim what's rightfully mine
Yeah.
and send him overboard.
Okay. All right. He goes just.
Ooh, future evil villain NPC.
Yeah.
Well, he can't feather fall. He can't speak.
Right.
No somatics.
Somebody else is going to catch him and turn him into an evil NPC.
You pick up this axe of your lineage. You look out around the deck and you see what's happened. All this chaos. You start to survey the ship once more. We're out of initiative now. Do you want to explore this ship?
I would like to put the fire out with the alchemy jug.
Okay.
I speak water
Nice.
and release.
So you put out the fire, and this cart is sufficiently damaged now. Stairvash has burned the shit out of it. Shackle has burned the shit out of it. This is not going to be good for travel anymore.
How about Minette's workbench? Is it salvageable?
Yeah, most of... he put his tools away, and he had his components. Really what burned was the bench itself and any, bench vices and stuff like that he might have had on there. Nothing that you guys couldn't pick up from, a general store or something like that.
We're just lucky the 20 pints of oil didn't light up.
Yeah. That's on the backside, near the horses.
Oh yeah, it's for the bullseye lantern.
Yeah, yep. You guys look over the ship, and Epido says, maybe this ship will be what carries you to Sinceri's castle.
But nobody knows how to fly it.
You have one that knew once how to steer it.
You're a pirate?
Mm-hmm.
A very famous pirate indeed. So, I must leave. And he puts the carriage down on the bow of the ship, and the horses with it. And he says, now that you have means to get around, I believe your best bet may be to approach Sinceri's castle as emissaries of mine. It is not uncommon for me to send messengers to Sinceri.
Won't you recognize me?
That is for you to figure out, little one.
And it's at this point that I appear on the ship and I go, I'm the wind! Where'd it go?
He says, now, I must away. I would highly suggest you get out of this area as quick as possible. If you continue due east, you will run right over the Evermoors, and you should be able to find her castle there. At least I hope. Hopefully she hasn't moved it. He bids you adieu, and
Thanks, Dad.
yeah, he looks at Kyo and he says, my son, call upon me when you have finished this mission, when you have settled the ordning. We have matters to attend. We must talk about some things, about your past. Yes, Orc.
I apologize. Pirate and all, but a little superstitious. Could I ask for a dragon's blessing? Or perhaps a token?
You have my blessing. It is a boon that you can use in the future. This boon is a legendary save. Everybody in the party has one of these legendary saves that they can use once, and they can instead succeed. Sweet. So he bids you adieu. He flaps his wings, and when he does, gold dust flitters, and he moves magically faster, breaking speed, going due north.
So he wasn't even flying as fast.
No, not at all. You guys start looking around. Minette and Tenuvial are able to get out of their jam.
Just wedged in the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah. The cat kind of starts sniffing around and is unsure of this crew. When Kinian goes through and starts assessing the changes that, Shackle has made to his captain's quarters, you find a roll of parchment. And on this parchment is orders from Klauth. And the orders state that Shackle and crew are to assist you to help in whatever means necessary to help solve the problem with the giants. As the giants have caused him great inconvenience. And he's concerned that whatever is happening with the ordning will cause a arms race between the giants and make them more powerful than they are.
I informed the group that, man, even the red dragons are concerned with the giants right now. This is crazy.
Yeah.
Well, I suggest, but we should go check out that creepy town. I want to go joyride.
Minette starts surveying the area. You guys have a bunch of time now. The Starvash is actually like signing the crew up now. He's explaining the rules of the road and like how you don't want to be a part of the rope, even though a rope is a saving force on the ship. You do not want to be a part of the rope to the core team. He explains that they are not part of the team, but they are on a probationary period, and he goes through the rigmarole of it all. Minette finds the storeroom at the bow of the ship on the second level, and he asks you, Kinian, if he can set up a workshop in there.
More than welcome to.
And he takes Tin and Nymeria, and they start just moving stuff out of the way up there. They start just setting up shop basically, and start nesting, making a home basically.
Just be careful with anything flammable. We don't want another cart incident.
Of course. And in fact, so your first order of action is to figure out how you're going to move this beast, because there is no more propulsion.
I have a great idea. So we need to, I'm sorry about your captain's quarters, but we need to make a big wheel in there. And then Boris can walk in the wheel, and it'll spin the...
While you guys are workshopping this, like as a team, Minette's there and he says, I like your idea, but what if we just set something up that heats the air and blows it out from the furnace?
I'm like, we got more than 1 horsepower here.
He suggests a complicated and seemingly convoluted contraption which heats this water that creates steam, which pushes a propeller that turns a crank that moves the actual propeller.
I put Minette in charge of rectifying the propulsion system from the ship.
I got another great idea. You see these bullseye lanterns? We can mount them on the harpoon guns.
I turn to Minette and say, don't let Chio touch my ship.
Annette says it's Keo.
And then my rocking chair, we can put that up at the forecastle. And that way I can rock while I'm keeping watch. And let's see what else.
I like that idea. While you're smoking a pipe.
Yeah, well, I've taken to bubble piping.
Yeah.
I still smoke.
Yeah. it's from the body. Okay, so Minette goes through the process, and it takes several hours to get what he needs to. He's able to craft something up out of what's around. It's very similar to what he explained. He's filling up like a basin from the water from the Alchemist jug. He's filling this basin up to heat to create that steam. He had quite the time trying to figure out how to get the steam down there because there isn't really like pipes. He's able to craft some things out of what's in the storeroom, and it looks kind of shady, but as long as you don't bump it, you should be fine until you guys get to some town or something like that.
The alchemy jug doesn't make that much water. You do have a barrel of water.
I thought alchemy jug does
Every day it's like 6 gallons or more, or something like that.
That's not that much.
That's not that much, actually.
But if it's in a boiler,
I suggest to Minette that maybe if there was something that could make an endless supply of water, we wouldn't have to worry about water anymore.
I turned to Tanuvial and I said, "Can't you create water?"
I think he was like, "I can create water. Here, let me drink some."
Tanuvial says, "Let me think on it. I'll see if I can." And for now, though, you're able to get around slowly but surely.
I go to the captain's quarters. Is there anything neat in there?
Neat?
Neat.
There is.
What you doing in my room, man?
We've got extra wheels, so we probably have like 3 wheels altogether.
There are 10 50 gold piece gems, some rubies,
10, 50
stuff
GP
like that.
diamonds.
Yes, all diamonds, and then 60 silver pieces.
60 silver pieces
Yes.
of it.
I take those diamonds, and I go back out onto the deck, and I find Kenyon. So, for flying the ship, you kind of saved us, otherwise we'd be a little stuck out here. I wanted to give you a gift. These are really personal to me, and, I feel like you could probably use them more than I can right now. I got like 10 diamonds. I just thought you should, probably have them.
You raided my ship, didn't you?
No. I've had these for quite a while. Was that deception? Or persuasion?
Deception, because you're lying.
Okay, 15.
12, so I believe him.
Yeah. Cool.
So
Found some. He's got some gems. Some very personal gems.
Keo takes the oar and the shovel
Okay.
and what's left of the canvas
Okay.
and makes a kite. He hooks up to the rope and ties to the railing and kind of flies it out.
Okay.
And
Are you
so-
trying to gauge the speed like you're doing knots?
No, he's trying to catch
okay.
the wind, and then once it catches, I'm like, see, we don't need minutes. I got sail.
He's got a kite.
It'll pull us.
It's huge.
It's gigantic.
It's like 4 foot tall. All right.
I thank Ifer, and I say, well, I've got enough treasure for today. I'll share this with the party. My birthright's been returned to me. I wield the battered old axe. I approach the crew, and basically, I tell them, I'm disappointed that you guys sided against me. However, you'll have an opportunity to make it up to me. In the meantime, who here has had the most experience as a helmsman?
and they all point to this one guy. And, like, all the fingers just point at this one guy.
Kyo holds up his arm.
And the one guy's got this, like, scar over his left eye. And you know this guy to be Lucky. That's his name. And he is lucky because the scar that he holds was from a blade that should have cleaved his face completely, but somehow he was able to only walk away with a cataract's eye.
Lucky, you're to train me how to navigate in the skies. I'm already familiar with the ocean. And you can train anybody else that requests permission through me. So if anybody else wants to learn how to pilot the ship...
Even that one? He points at Keo.
Come to me with the requests, and I will let you know in private.
Aye.
All right? And
he salutes.
I need one of you to teach my family, my crew here, how to work the grapples. I need safety training for all of them. Who's going to teach us how to work with the grappling hooks and how to deal with the gusts of wind?
Okay. And they all like look at this one guy, and he's super lanky, and he's got very toned muscles. He looks very acrobatic, and they all look at him, and you know him as the Rope, and they call him the Rope not because of his rope work.
Not.
Yeah. He says, sure, I can teach you guys how to use the rope. and the rest of the crew just chuckle. They're like,
Being familiar with sea.
I thought we had a rule here.
but Bon, it wasn't a dick joke. A dick joke could be.
You forgot the air quotes.
So.
Harshnag, being a frost giant, very familiar with working on ships. He knows typically how to use ropes and how to get around. So he just like sits down very gently, kind of close to the middle, but far enough away from the fire that it's not bothering him, and just watches people go about their stuff.
I have one additional request.
Aye.
I'd like you men to suspend a net 15 feet beneath the balloon to run the entire length of the ship.
Why?
I have some ideas as far as potential training.
Your friend here won't be able to move around.
We want it to be able to descend and be raised up.
What?
Essentially, I want a net that we can pull up along the bottom side of the balloon
Okay.
and lower down for handholds if need be. If it gets real stormy, I'd like to be able to descend it down so they can easily have a handhold on the net.
Okay.
Think like boot camp army, where they climb the netting. I want to be able to descend it down in rough weather.
Oh. Okay. So
like handholds.
Yeah. So it's taut when you want it to be.
Correct.
So it makes a triangle.
Yes.
But then when you want safety, you slack it, and then it bows in so people can grab handholds.
Correct.
We're gonna need a lot of fucking rope, though.
We'll pick up some rope.
I have 330 feet of rope.
All right.
But I want this made.
It's a little smoky.
Okay. Yes. Aye. They get busy. You know, they bump into each other real quick, and they all get off to where they need to be.
Using what rope they have, I grabbed like 2 little pieces of iron that used to be like shafts for like the cart.
Okay.
And I start crocheting the net.
Okay. Okay. I like it. Minette has scuttled the rest of the car, by the way. So, next order of business. What are you gonna do with the horses? They're just walking around on the top deck.
I'm gonna take them below deck.
Okay.
That's stinky proposition.
Yes.
That's fine.
All right.
They can go in the captain's quarters for now.
3 horses in the captain's quarters.
I'll have it cleaned.
Yep.
They'll be safe there.
Sounds good. The
Cute.
horses
Cute.
are in the captain's quarters.
Perks up at that maybe people are starting to listen to him.
Okay. Nice. So, Lucky is showing you how to navigate. He does the whole Moana thing and like shows you how to navigate with your hand and blah 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 and you got it basically figured out after a couple hours. It's not too dissimilar from when you are on the water.
So that acclimates the new horizon.
Yeah, basically.
In essence.
Yeah. What you do have though is a new understanding of up and down, because you've always captained in a 2D, and now you are in a 3D territory. So he explains to you they used to have 2 air elementals trapped by Clouth into these magical sustaining furnaces, which lock them to this plane, and they can never leave. As soon as those furnaces are broken, the spell starts to dissipate immediately, and he shows you the foot pedals right next to the helm of how to basically like spur the fire elemental to pump out more heat or pump out less.
Oh, nice.
To do the whole up and down. He explains to you that it's a lot easier to move downward than it is upward. So if you're looking at any battles,
Get the height advantage.
you want the height advantage.
Yep.
So after giving you just kind of the brief run through, you feel very confident that you could captain this ship. Do you rename this ship? It is currently cutting winds.
We should call it the break.
No.
How about the cutting cheese?
Bon pipes up and says, "How about the wind's advantage?"
Aye. Aye. I start talking all piratey now. Yarr!
Yarr! like a nice boot. It just fits. It fits perfect.
So we should repaint it black.
Because that stands out in the sky.
Not if you fly high enough.
It's a sunspot.
And in the dark, can't be seen.
Little space is black. And the sun's out blue.
So
The stars disappearing and reappearing.
You see Keo, and he's starting to paint the deck black. He's like, we totally should paint this black.
Well, we're the Order of the Obsidian Flame.
Nice.
Yeah.
On brand.
So just black flames across the
I
side.
see what he's doing, and I go like, raise my hand in like protest, and then I'm like,
I think I'd start on the side.
it's not worth it.
Yeah, just black flames on the
He's got
sides.
like the super trashy like flames going across the side of the ship.
It's all black.
It's not worth it, and I just walk away.
I like it. So you're on like one of those swing contraptions that are like let down off the side of the ship.
I'm keeping like
I'm pretty good at climbing.
Yeah.
And if I fall, I can always back on deck.
I still tie rope around him, and I'm sitting there like
Okay.
holding him.
Well, I guess I'd feather fall, then poof back
Time goes by, about a day.
in the south.
You guys are, getting acclimated, and Lucky comes to you, Kinian, and he says, "Sir, we have something to talk about. That cat, it's eating all our food. We gotta resupply.
Sounds like a good idea.
Now, by my figuring,
We need a feedback of holding.
by my figuring, we're not too far from Yartar. We could try and set port there." And he looks to Harshnag and he says, "I don't know how they're going to handle this one, though."
I'll stay outside town on the ship. Continue building this rope net. I'm used to not going into towns.
Aye?
Well, won't we have to land outwards and let him off? Because if we're going to port in town,
Oh,
Aye.
Yeah, just leave me outside town.
All right.
I'll wait you.
All right. Well, I guess we'll get to it. Is that our heading then, Captain?
Aye.
Aye. He goes up to the helm and he takes the helm, and starts on the journey. He's from the helm. He says, "I would expect about a half day's journey." Yeah, a half day's journey. Where do you want me to set it down?
Did we come in north of town initially?
No, south.
South?
Yeah.
And north of town, is that
Oh
what it-
no, I'm sorry. You came in from the west.
West.
Yeah, from Tribor.
Okay.
And this is the town that's split by a river.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
We should land in the river.
Yeah, just drop me outside town. You only need to get 20 feet off the ground. I can hop down from there.
It's like a 5-foot drop for you.
Yeah, exactly.
I think we should build another net for Archnag to ride in.
Like a hammock?
A literal giant hammock.
Perhaps in the river, if it's, I do some estimation in my mind, like trying to remember. Can I
That's the main
do
river
a
that
memory
goes
to
down
see
through
if
water.
the river's deep enough and wide enough?
The Destinarian?
The Disarn.
The Sarin.
Yeah.
The Sarin River. Which I believe is a pretty big
Yeah, it's a
fucking river.
major.
Yep,
Yeah.
so the Desarin is huge.
I
It's not like
tell
Mississippi big, but it's a big river.
Lucky if we're still see where they put her down in the disarm.
I would say that closer to Yartar would be the best, but we wouldn't want to set down too far outside of town or travel outside of town too far. The river gets kind of shallow in places. But we can set down near town.
Let's do that.
Okay. Hi! He continues his helming. So, half day goes by, and you guys set down.
All right,
Not too far outside of Yartar. You can see it off in the distance. It won't take you long to get there.
I take the bulk of the crew
Uh-huh.
with us, and I have Nymeria. I asked Nymeria to stay behind. Minette and Tenuvio, do you want to come with, or do you want to watch the ship?
Manette says, I really want to work on this belt. I think it could be quite useful. I would prefer to watch the ship. I really want to get some work done in on this stuff. And Tim says, yeah, I'll watch the ship as well. These boys need true training. They are not trained like I would expect. They are not warriors.
I ask Harshnag to take the cart. What's left of the cart?
Well, they scuttled it. They
Yeah,
threw it
it's
They
not
scuttled
much.
it.
we got all the stuff out
Yeah,
of it.
they basically
We have the 2 spare wheels.
Yeah, yep.
about it.
Yep.
they scrapped it for parts and
And the wheels aren't bound. Minette took the iron bindings from the circle,
Okay.
so it's just loose timbers.
well, if you're staying far enough, if the ship is staying far enough outside of town that I probably won't be noticed, I'll stay close to it, still kind of trying to stay hidden from view of the town, but keeping a watchful eye on the ship.
It'll take some doing because the ship's
Are
going to
they-
be able to port into town.
If they're porting into town, then I'm gonna just hop out before they get that close.
I'm going to say
And-
we used up the cat and dog feed. Cat.
Yeah.
I
Is there any way to keep communication with me since I'm gonna be so far away, or?
only with familiar.
Okay.
Probably the rations, too.
All right. Well then, don't worry about it. You know where I'm at.
So I speak with the horses and ask them to come up deck
Okay.
so that we can lower them down
Oh, off of
off
the deck
the ship.
to stay with Harshnag.
Well, I help lower them off at the very least.
I'm gonna release Driftwood.
Oh. Like to the wild?
Mm-hmm.
Driftwood looks at you with its big dumb horse eyes, and it's like it looks at you and like I don't know, nuzzles you, and doesn't want to go.
All right, come on. So,
And I grab Boris by the ears and I'm like, Boris, I would never have been.
And Boris's eyes are like cross-eyed. And it's just like Boris just kind of like looks off and is like,
He probably shakes his head annoyed.
yeah. It's like he kind of like nuzzles at your pockets for apples. But I think you guys are out of apples potentially.
Well, I had 2 full barrels.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he nuzzles for apples.
We're probably down to 1 barrel. Yeah. I give him 1.
Don't forget, you have a warhorse.
Yours?
Oh,
Yeah.
is it Ivor's warhorse now, not Bones?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, you gave him a warhorse?
Yeah, it was last
nice.
night.
So I'll mount Driftwood.
What's that?
I'll mount Driftwood then.
Okay.
I'll give a apple to Ivor's horse
So,
too.
okay, so you're gonna port in town then?
Okay.
Alright, see
Sure.
you later.
Alright, yeah. Hershnag's like, so you gonna stay? Or,
What are we doing here, guys?
Don't worry, Harshnag. We'll send the rope to you. Keeping it and
all
here,
right.
have some apples.
Accidentally knit part of my beard into the net.
Okay, so you guys find port. You get off, and a porter is standing there, and he looks like at the ship, and then looks at Kenny and is like,
How many
"That's
sailors
quite the ship you got there."
How many sailors do we have total now?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
5.
Yeah, because you guys killed 1, 2, 3, 4. You had 9 there, so 5. He says, "Where'd you get this butte?"
It's from my, it's been in the family.
Seafaring orcs. Damn. he looks and he goes, "Them are some sick flames."
Don't talk about it.
They're black.
I don't want to talk about it.
Keo's like, "Arr!" he like pats Keo in a demeaning manner. He's like, "I'm sure, little man. Are you David? Or are you
I figure I'm rolling with like.
yeah, okay.
Your giant floppy hat.
Well, I
You
do
just-
have my hat on.
You're rolling deep now with your crew. You're just
Yeah.
alright.
Well, that and I blew my cover in this town before.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. he taps you on the head. He's like, he goes, "I'm sure it is, little lizard." He says, "All right. It's gonna be 10 gold pieces for the night to port. You can go over to Stathan's. He's got all the standard provisions for ships. If you're looking for company, there's the Sultry Mistress just up the road there. And we have a bazaar in the middle of the town on the east side of the river. If you want to trade or find any like nice silks, we've got very fine silks. Oh, and I forgot. You may, if you're feeling lucky, you may want to check out the Golden Goose. It is a casino ship. It is very fun, and from the looks of you folk, you are definitely welcome."
We like to have fun.
Well, I never pass up a friendly wager.
I walk straight to the casino shop.
you're like, boom.
I follow along lifer.
Okay.
Full blind guys.
Okay. Yeah. So you got the blinders on.
Yep. And I got my staff out like, Ifer, wait, where'd you go?
This way.
Staravash puts a hand on your shoulder and he's like, "Master, is something wrong?"
And I whack him with the staff and I go, "Mind your place."
He goes, "Okay." He says, "What shall I do, Master? Do you need me to go get provisions?"
I turn to the portsman and say, What if I paid you 20 gold? Would you bring the provisions to us?
Sure. I mean, I'd need gold for the provisions, though. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. I can make sure that the provisions are loaded up. Your crew will have them on the main deck, and it will be up to your crew to put them where they need. We do not do... we only do one-room drop-offs, so we don't put them down below deck.
So, anything he requests, pointing to Kyo, unless it's kinky. And how much rope do you think that we need?
We're gonna rough that one out.
Yeah.
Yeah. How much is a line of rope? 50 feet.
1 GP.
1 GP? 200 GP.
Done.
We need to make big rope to fix that line that somebody cut.
We should probably stock up on lots of rations too.
Sure.
Hey, I tied a
So-
sweet knot around that thing.
Why don't we just do it?
Tin says, don't forget, Nymeria eats 24 pounds of meat every day.
That's nice, Tin. You can buy your own cat food.
Can't hunt in the sky.
Stairbash. So he asked what he should do. Tell him I'm impressed with his recruiting abilities. Considering I recruited all these sailors to the Order of the Obsidian Flame. Well,
We've been drawing up
unknowingly.
tattoos. And he starts showing you sketches, and they're all super bad. He's like, this is my favorite, and it's like a circle with 4 lines coming off of it.
I give him... Oh, God. I give him 500 gold.
Thank you, Master.
Not for you to spend.
Oh, okay.
Which I want you to roll to figure out if he immediately goes to the casino and loses it all. I tell him I want him to rent a room in town here and set up a recruitment for the cause against giants.
Okay.
I'm essentially pulling him out of our campaign for the time being.
Oh, okay. Okay, for today.
For today.
Yeah, or whenever we
want
circle
him
back. Okay. So he says, "Aye," and trying to get his terms, and he runs off down the street.
Where is it?
By the way, the porter says, he says, oh, by the way, there is a jeweler in town. If you want to trade any money into jewels, you folks look awfully wealthy, especially for this nice of a ship. So I would highly suggest jeweling your coin. It is the new thing to do. It's much lighter.
Kyo's like, yeah.
Kyo's like, I've been saying this the whole time.
Yeah, this is what I was trying to tell him back in Phandalin. Who cares about the face on the money? Yeah. The platinum nuggets weren't good enough for her.
It's like investing in gold. You're like a commercial right now.
Yeah. So, you guys head off to the Golden Goose, and it is reaching dusk, which is prime time. Yep.
I was gonna go waste money in the casino.
That is the Golden Goose.
Okay.
So, everybody's going to the Golden Goose, right? Okay.
Is Stairbash there?
Stairbash is not, but you can see. So, let me lay this out real quick. You see a line of people, and it looks like everybody is waiting to get in. And there's the captain, who's dressed in very fine captain's attire. So there is a giant line on this dock, and there are two ports to get into the ship, and this line goes to both sides. Everybody here is extremely dapper. very well dressed and look well-to-do. They all seem way out of your financial range. You see one guy particularly start to get on the ship, and one of the boatsmen says, hold there, you're not allowed on the ship. You look like a poor one. And the guy says, well, excuse me, sir. I am quite wealthy. And the boatsman says, go on, get out of here. Go on, take your poor money somewhere else. I do say. And he says, well, I said it first, so get the hell out. And the guy stomps off, taking his wife, who's just covered in jewels. They look the least rich out of this line, and they are still like, if you were to rob these guys, you'd be good for a while. So
I stealth at a 22 past the line.
okay, how do you get onto this boat? I mean, it's two lines side by side. One breaks onto the boat first, kind of making a reverse F, right? So one breaks onto the boat, and then the next one breaks.
I mean, I'm pretty small. As the guy that's, bodyguard in the entire thing is messing with somebody, I'm going to try and sneak past.
Okay. No one seems to notice you.
Okay. Go ahead, you can do your thing now.
You are on the boat. Just have entered the boat. Okay.
So, a half-orc barbarian with a giant great axe on his back and a scraped, indented breastplate with a headdress of a Craig cat, still covered in blood. I walk right up to the line and enter the first door.
One of the crewsmen puts a hand on your chest, says, excuse me, no commoners. Thank you.
I look at him and say, do you want to find out how hard I can punch?
The boatsman rolls up his sleeves, and you see Zentarum tattoos all up his arms, and he says, do you want to see how hard I can punch? Get the fuck out of here, orc.
I smile and I say, brother.
Brother,
I'm one of you.
you do not look like one of me, but come with me. You are late for your shift.
All right.
And he says, you're going to have to drop your tools off, and I will make sure that you are all set to go and dapper, and there is some good money to be had here. All you got to do is walk around with drinks, and they put tons of money on your plate. Good time. Good time, son.
I sit there pondering for a moment. This is an interesting proposition. And I go in with him.
So you guys...
My turn?
Yes.
So I'm walking up in stage left bottom.
Okay.
Staff out in front. Hood up. Eye garb covering eyes. I'm going, Ifer! Come back! Ifer, come back here! And I just walk towards the entrance.
They put a hand on your shoulder, and they say, excuse me, sir. You do not belong on this boat.
Said, my guardian just walked in here.
How would you know?
Because he said, I'm going on that boat, and then scuttled off.
No one's come onto this boat that looks...
I peek back around and I tug on the guy's shirt. Yeah, he's with me. I went in the other door.
And he looks down, and he sees you, and he's like, you're not on this boat either. Get the hell off.
No, buddy over at the other door let me in.
What was his name?
Do you even know his name?
I know everyone's name.
Oh, really? Then what's my name?
I don't know your name.
Well, I guess you don't know everybody's name.
That's right. You're not one of the crew.
Well, no. That's because I'm the nephew of, Big Boss. Yeah.
Oh, what's his name?
Well, do you know his name?
I sure do.
Oh. Well,
I mean, he employs me.
but does he?
Yes.
Because he gets his money from me.
No, he doesn't.
You want to bet?
Yes.
I
We're on a casino ship.
He's
Trust me, sir.
All right,
He
let's-
gets
let's
his
put this
money
wager
from
down.
me.
Let's put this wager down. If I win, your ass leaves. And if you win, your ass leaves.
there's like a walkway to the ship, right?
2 of them, yes.
And like he's standing on it. So if he were to like fall off, he would fall into the water.
He is standing. Yes. Yeah.
I go, I present you, and I kind of like stumble forward into the guy and
Oh, try to bump him in.
shoulder check him.
Okay. He like starts going and he plunges into the water. He's, oh god. And he falls into the water. He makes kind of this grandiose show of it, and a lady walks out as a bunch of ruckus incurs. After you knock this guy over, all these rich folk are like, I do say, and oh my goodness, did you see what he did? That's just not right. And there's people like up on the second ledge. This is a 2-tiered ship. There is people standing out on the viewing deck, and they're like, that guy just pushed that other guy.
And I say, I'm blind. How could I push a guy? I can't even see where I'm going here.
You hear from the rear of the line some shrieks, and there's some women there that are shrieking, and a shrill man voice comes over all of these female shrieks, and he says, "Oh, a kobold!"
With
The
all
crowd has noticed you.
With all this ruckus, I try and stealth back into the crowd inside the boat.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm good.
And I just kind of walk back step in after him.
Okay.
My kobolds have ears, yes. Or well, my whatever. I perk up at the kobold. I start looking around for one. I haven't seen a kobold in a while now. Most of the larger cities, a lot of them do have kobold societies that live in like the sewers and stuff. So
Yeah, and these rich people do not experience that whatsoever. These are 1%ers.
well, most people don't even know that they're there. They try to keep.
So
I look around and I'm like, kobold.
and they like point at you, and they're like, you're a kobold.
And I say, I am Kyo, the glass staff. Prepare to be amazed. And
Oh, are you the ship entertainment?
they seem excited. I want to please.
Yeah. Oh, they are.
That's one
They.
of
You
Kyo's
you
major
said
traits.
you made it seem as if you are some sort of magician. So yes,
Well,
they
I
are
am.
quite excited. They're like, please, a preview of what we shall see tonight.
So I pull out my three.
Keo's like he's like racking his brain of like what's the best thing I can do right now.
So Kyo, I pull out 300 gold piece diamonds because I did stop by the jeweler. on the way.
Yep.
And I was picking up my ring. I start juggling them, and then I made
Dex check.
Dex check. All right. Would that be sleight of hand or?
No,
doesn't
it's a
matter.
dex.
It's just
It's-
the same anyways.
Yeah.
So 12.
Okay. Yep.
I'm kind of wobbling
Yeah.
a bit at it.
Yep.
And then
You
I
don't
mage.
drop one in the water. That's the key there.
Well, the thing is, and then I mage hand Bringing it around
It grabs it and it just kind of moves.
then I'm just tossing the two back and forth between my hands, and the third one's like flying in circles around it. And then I do a flourish and a bow.
They're like, oh, that was so cool. What else do you have for us?
What else? Well, to see the rest of the show, you got to come to the show.
We'll be there. When do you start?
I walk on with
the boatsman. The boatsman's like splashing around in the water, and there's nobody at this gate to like check people in. Still, these rich folk are
Actually, I'll show them another free trick.
okay.
So I misty step over to the guy, grab his collar, and then I twin a misty step and pull us up on the way.
Nice.
And then
Nice.
prestidigitation and we're dry.
And they're like, oh, that's so cool. Wow. All right, let's see.
Ifer, are you like gone, or are you like letting me stay with you?
No, I stuck away at like a 26.
So you're just gone?
Yeah, because I want to go and like, because there's like rich people here.
Yeah.
I don't want to take their money, but anything cool that they might have that maybe our team could use.
Sure.
Kind of want to try and take it.
Like their money.
You hear the ruckus going on out on the dock, and hearing about Keo, the great Keo, and stuff. Kinian, you are getting dressed in this in this suit, and you look probably the best you've looked in a very long time. They splashed hot water on you before getting you dressed, and they throw some like whatever that stuff they put on prisoners before they put them in jail, lye or whatever they put, the dry powder, and they like throw it on you.
Powdered sugar. It's delicious.
They throw it on you, and then they dump the hot water on you. They clean you up nice. They comb your hair with all of the promise of the gold that your brother has been telling you. Your Zentarum brother. You definitely take it in stride, right? I mean, he's talking like hundreds and hundreds of gold pieces. He says, on a good night, I'd walk out with 500 gold pieces, especially if someone is winning. And he says, what you really want to do, here's the secret. What you really want to do is you want to find a hot table, and you want to start serving the guy who's winning all the time. Because he'll start thinking that you're his lucky guy, and he doesn't want anyone from the table to leave, and he'll want you to keep bringing him drinks. That's where you want to be. Now, remember one thing. Lord Dryland, he is not to be trifled with. Remember this. This is a very serious note. You can keep any tips, but if he catches you stealing, you are dead. Dead.
Me stealing.
There's some word that he has some ties to some very strong influences in the world. Anyone who opposes him has ended up dead. This is why he's able to command the greatest casino ship there ever has been. The Great Dame. The Grand Dame. So, the lady, we are jumping all over the place, the lady who comes out to see all the ruckus, she is fair-skinned, has her hair up in a bun, and very pointy eyebrows. The finest silk robe that you've ever seen, with snakes all wrapped around this yellow silk robe. Green snakes. And she says, now, what's the problem here? And she looks at Keo. I don't recall having a kobold for our night's entertainment. I specifically remember having a bard.
I say, well, I didn't book me. I'm here by popular demand.
What? Who are you?
If you are so popular, then why do I not know you?
I am Kyo the Magnificent,
Oh my! Kyo the Magnificent!
Prince of the Emerald Enclave.
That's wonderful. I've never heard of you. Who are you?
Savior of Phandalin.
We requested from the guild a gnomish bard.
A gnomish bard you'll have. And then I alter self.
When you go to alter self, nothing happens.
I just roll with it. And then
Okay.
You don't know.
You just snap and you're like,
Counterspell.
you're gonna counter her counter spell?
No. This could be like an anti-magic field. I was just...
Okay, I'm good. Now Alex's eyes pop out.
I was just walking along the docks, and everybody's like, "There's a kobold," and I'm like, "Where's the kobold?" And then they're like, "Who are you?" And I say, "I'm Kyo, the Magnificent." And they're like, "Oh, the night's entertainment." And I said, "Sure." And they wanted me to do tricks, so I did tricks.
Huh. Show me some of your tricks, magician.
All right, so I try a minor prestidigitation
Okay.
just to make sure it works.
Okay. Yep, it works.
Okay,
Yeah, warming up.
must have been a little rusty. And so I go to show the juggling trick. I'm like up and down with the one while spinning the other ones around it.
Okay.
You know, then I go ta-da, and then I pull out my pipe and I make it light itself,
Okay.
and then I start blowing smoke and turning it into shapes of different animals, and I start performing a bit about monsters of the forest that I faced.
Okay.
And the scariest bit, I poof up an image of an owlbear.
And like some of the crowd is like, like they're all enthralled in this.
So and then, I go through a whole routine. Mostly, I do a bit where I have somebody select a card out of the deck, and I take the card from their hand instead of putting it back and shuffling it. I tear the card in half, and then I put both halves in their pocket, and I say Alakazam, and I bend the card, and I'm like, ah.
Okay. And
Not
and-
really getting the
Yeah.
gist of how magic tricks are supposed to
Right. She says, you, and you. And not even looking, points directly at Eifer, who's like starting to sneak down the hallway, and like Eifer like looks over his shoulder real quick. And yes, you two gnome.
There's a gnome
You
card.
three, come with me.
It was part of his magic trick. He was going to make me reappear back over here.
And I say, "Oh, okay," and start walking in the completely opposite direction.
She says, I do believe you know which way to go. Come with me.
Oh yeah, sorry. I dropped something over here.
Lord Dryland.
Wait, I was gonna have the
Turn
two
around.
boxes and poke holes in them, and then disappear from one box, reappear in another box.
She says, you three, well, come with me.
Okay.
You need to talk to Lord Dryland. You are not allowed on this ship, but I believe he'll want to talk to you three.
I was the entertainment. I'm the gnomish bard you
course.
were talking about.
Of course. That shall be determined.
Well, I am a bard, and I am a gnome. What more could you ask for?
Entertainment. And she says, come with me.
I start playing my mandolin at a 8. It's out of tune again.
Plink. She says, that's quite enough. And she walks you down these aisles and up a flight of stairs to the second deck and to this gold like leaf door. It's got inlaid gold leaf inside of it. It's very ornate looking. in fact, there's like this vine wallpaper all across the side of the ship for the like standard walls, and these gold leaf inlays they play right into that, and this whole design is throughout the door. It's very intricate. She opens the door, and there sits a man who looks almost like a ranger. He's got leather armor with like these metal bracers that are like rope strapped onto his arm, and these like fur shoulder pads, and a octopus is sitting on his shoulder almost like a parrot would, and it's got one arm around the guy's like back of his neck, kind of like a friend, and is
like
just kind of drooped.
Now, would I know that as a familiar?
You think it could be a familiar, but from the looks of this guy, he does not look like he possesses magic.
Well, I pull off my hat, and then I pull the owl out of my hat.
The what? The owl?
I'm still performing.
The owl's like, he comes out cross-eyed and he's like, whoo!
No, I'm not actually pulling him out of the hat. I'm pulling him from his extra-dimensional space.
Yeah.
You know,
And then, do you put him back, or you just kind of hold on to his legs and is like, ta-da!
It's ta-da! And I'll put him back in his space, and then...
He's like, that's quite enough.
I walk up. Nice to meet you. Put my hand out.
But as you like start to walk out with your hand out, the woman puts her hand on your shoulder and has a much firmer grasp than you ever would have imagined her to have. Now, cutting over to Kinian.
So, I've gone through this grooming ritual, but the whole time, my axe has been calling to me. Mm-hmm. And I refuse to part with it. So I say, this axe is really a part of me. Can I at least holster it on my back while I serve drinks?
No.
I'm afraid I can't work the floor, though. This axe must remain with me.
500 gold pieces, brother.
I know, but this axe has been lost to me for years. It's been in my family for generations.
Oh, don't worry about it. We'll put it in the safe. It is the safest place there is.
The safest place is in my hand. Or on my person.
I'm telling you, Lord Dryland isn't gonna like a server walking around with a great axe on his back.
Please, allow me to convince you.
Listen, what if I get Pao Ming down here? She's our sorceress. Maybe she can create some sort of illusion. We'll explain the situation, explain that you can't part with it by any physical means. Maybe that would help?
I forgetting that, I'm not actually talking to pirates. Yes, correct myself.
He says, you're gonna want to stow that shit. These people are proper folk. You talk to them like this, and very nicely you do, sir. And you say, sir, thank you, sir.
Yes.
Stow that shit! And,
damn it.
Pao Ming, he goes off and goes to get Pao and brings her down. And you see this lady with a bun in her hair and yellow robes with green snakes wrapped all around her. And he says, see, as I was saying, he can't let go of the thing. He must be cursed. But he's a good hard worker. I know him. I know him from back in the day. And she like eyes him, and she's like, so I hear you're good at serving drinks.
Yes, ma'am.
What's the deal with your axe?
It's been in the family for years.
So? This man here says you can't part with it.
I just got it back. I'd lost it for years. I went through some ordeal to retrieve it. I feel compelled to keep it within my grasp or within reach. I can't explain it. It's
what if what if I put it in my bag? And I stay within a certain range.
It has to be within my reach.
We're fairly understanding here, but I mean, this is pushing it. I can't allow weapons on this boat. I really can't.
Could you disguise it?
Yes, but that's not the point. The point is that it's a weapon and it can be used against anybody.
I'm here to work.
I understand. Well, let's see. Guess I might be able to disguise it, but if I disguise it, you will be a sentry. You will not be walking around with the guests. That means less tips. That's the best I got. I got things to deal with. I've got 3 people who are trying to get on this ship, and now they're up talking with the Lord. I've got lots to take care of.
Could you perhaps put me on guard duty with one of the high rollers?
I could do that. Yes, why not? Maybe we could dress you up as security or a pit boss or something. Yes, that would be okay. You do not touch your weapon. It is merely as a way to scare the guest into staying straight and for them not to steal or count cards. Yes, I like that. We will call you head of security.
All right.
But just know that you don't really carry any clout. You are but a pawn, and this is but a role.
I can play this role. With advantage, even.
She looks at you and she snaps her fingers, and your white suit getup goes from white to a black coat with like this black tie. Your weapon is holstered on your back. Your hair is like just perfect to be the most scary you can be. With being professional. You look clean, you smell clean. It's kind of gross for you. And you feel like you can't move very well. Like you can't lift your arms up like above your shoulders, otherwise everything bunches up. Which is kind of weird.
Any objections? And I hold up like a wrestler-looking belt. And I put on my belt over top. I think this looks a lot better.
No, that must be stowed. I know exactly what that is. Okay, so in the ward's cabin, there is the ward sitting there with his octopus on his shoulder, and he eyes you, Eifer, and he says, "So what are you about?"
I can't explain. Bun. Lady's left by this point, right?
She some strange guy came in and was like, Pow, I need your help. Some of the service is having some problems.
I ignore the Lord. Bun. Listen, I can't explain. Things are a little strange right now. We shouldn't be here. I gotta go, and I disappear.
Wait, Eifer! And you're just like gone.
I'm gone.
He stole my trick. I'm saving that for the finale.
Yeah. The Lord is like, that is amazing! That was awesome! Hey, short one! Where did you go? You gotta have the prestige, right? Where are you? And he looks behind him and he's like, where the hell did he go? You two, where did he go?
So I go, shit, Eifer! I drop my staff, I turn it angelic, I'm gonna zoom out the window.
Holy shit! You drop your staff?
I drop it.
Alright, so the spider staff drops. right at your feet, Keo.
I am Nazar staff.
Nazar glass staff. He says, Holy shit! What the fuck just happened? And he like looks at the octopus and he's like, "Did you see that?" And the octopus like nods and he's
Kyo
like,
just claps.
he's like, "Something's up."
Yeah, me. I flew away.
And he looks off into space. He's not here right now. His eyes like glass over.
Kyo's going to slowly pick up the staff.
Yep.
And he like, straps it to his back or something. And it's like, he's like 2.5 feet tall and the staff's like waving twice his height up.
Yep. So when you're coming over the dunes, they can see you.
Kyo's used to walking with a giant staff.
Yeah.
But two of them's kind of awkward for him. Kyo just walks around with a staff that's like twice his height.
Like maybe 10-15 seconds go by. Enough for you to stow the staff, and you just kind of look around and you're like, what the fuck just happened? And the guy comes back and he's like, and you see like this blood like start to trickle down his face and from his nose, and there's just a little bit coming from his earlobe. And he locks eyes with you and he says, "Kyo, I know you."
Hey everybody, it's Alan, your DM, and I wanted to say thank you from the cast and crew for listening to Roll with Advantage. We really appreciate it. If you feel like you want to support the podcast or even want to get on the podcast in all sorts of different ways, go ahead and check us out at Patreon, patreon.com/Roll with Advantage. We've got all sorts of different support structures that have got fun little things for each of the levels. If you can't support monetarily, comments and subscriptions go a very long ways. So if you could comment in iTunes or on YouTube, that would help out the podcast so much. We also love to interact with our fans. If you use the hashtag Roll with Advantage on Twitter, or you can post in our subreddit, we will be happy to engage with you guys. It's a super fun way to get to know some of us, and you get to ask questions about your favorite characters, or about the world, what's going on in the background, stuff like that. We also want to say a big thank you for Incompetech.com and BattleBards for letting us use their music and sound effects. They do a fantastic job, and I highly suggest you guys go check them out. Just beautiful work from everybody there. For a full list of the pieces we use, go ahead and check out the description, and you'll find it there. So, thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week. Bye!